Welcome back to Play Action Fantasy Football. This is Jonathan here with you going over our Week 17 tight end start sits. And this is going to be the final week. Hopefully you guys are all in the championship trying to win that money, first, second place. And you will win that championship. I got you. We're going to go ahead and get started. Go subscribe real quick. Trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. If you can help us hit that, we'd greatly appreciate it. So just hit subscribe. I think we got about 15 people left. So go ahead and hit subscribe. And also comment. Let us know what you think. Going forward, we got the Jets at the Browns on Thursday. Tyler Conklin, got to sit him for the Jets. Not much to talk about there. Good Browns defense. Njoku, easy start this week against the Jets. The Jets are very struggling on defense. They got a decent makeup of, defensive backs, but the whole defense just isn't panning out. And Joe Flacco right now has been finding Njoku like no other, so definitely got to start him this week. Saturday, we got our 8:30 game. Lions at the Cowboys. Two very good tight ends, Sam Laporta, Jake Ferguson. Sam Laporta this week, I have to cautionary start. The Cowboys have a very good defense, but Sam Laporta is a very good tight end, and they have a good quarterback who's not been playing to his best capabilities the past week or two, but I do think Laporta still will get points. So he's a strong cautionary start, and Jake Ferguson, he's going to be a start for sure. Definitely against the Lions. The Lions have very good defense, but the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, he's been playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year, and definitely going to be finding Ferguson. So look for Ferguson there. Definitely got to start him. Going to our first 1 o'clock game on Sunday, we got two cautionaries. We got Okonkwo and Dalton Schultz. Okonkwo, he had a very good week last week. He was actually number 2 in tight ends. He had 6 catches, 60-some yards, and a touchdown. Pretty good, but he was at home against Seattle. I think it'll be a little bit tougher at the Texans, but he still can definitely have a good game. Going to be a cautionary start for me. And same thing with Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is dealing with C.J. Stroud's injury. We're not too sure if he's playing or not yet, but it's going to be a good one against the Titans, who have a very good defense. So it's going to be a good one for Schultz, I think. If you need to put him in there, but maybe you need to look at another guy. Falcons at the Bears. Kyle Pitts, Cole Kmet. Kyle Pitts is going to be a start for me this week against the Bears defense, who's just trash. Kyle Pitts now has Heineke throwing him the ball, which is going to be helping him a lot. So I definitely think you got to start Pitts this week. And Cole Kmet, who is questionable. We're not too sure if he's going to be playing. Again, this is Tuesday that I record, so we're going to have to wait and see throughout the week how it progresses if he's going to be playing. But if he does play, it's going to be a cautionary start because the Falcons have a very good defense. Cole Kmet's a very good tight end, though. So I would expect him to score some points, maybe have a good day, a really good day, but I wouldn't just expect it. The next game we're looking at is the Dolphins at the Ravens. Smythe and Likely. Likely's a start, easy start for me. Dolphins, they're always giving up a lot of points because they score so much. And Isaiah Likely, he's been playing great since Mark Andrews has been gone, and the Ravens really like using him. He's definitely a start. And Smythe for the Dolphins, not very impressive at all. They have too many other weapons. You cannot start him. The next 1 o'clock game is the Saints at the Bucks. Taysom Hill, Jawan Johnson, Cade Otton. We're sitting all these guys. Taysom Hill, if any of these guys are the most close to cautionary start, it's going to be Taysom Hill. He had a bad week last week, and I think the week before that, but then he has some blowout games where he plays great. I'm not too sure what's going on over there with the Saints, but it's definitely been a mixed match with Jawan Johnson and Taysom Hill. But I'm going to have to sit them both against a good Buccaneers defense. And same thing with Cade Otton. Cade Otton, there's a lot of other weapons there for the Bucs to use. Now Mayfield does find him sometimes, but against the Saints, it's going to be very tough. So I definitely would have to sit Otton, especially in the finals. The next 1 o'clock game is the Patriots at the Bills. We got 4 tight ends in this one. Gesicki, Hunter Henry. Got to sit both those guys. This Patriots offense sucks, and they don't get the ball enough for you to even consider putting them in your fantasy. So got to skip them. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. Going to have to put Kincaid as a cautionary start this week. He's had bad 2 weeks. certainly 2 bad weeks. But against the Patriots, you never know, and they got to get him the ball at some point. They have Josh Allen. They're going to have to pass the ball. As much as they want to run the ball a lot, they're going to have to pass the ball at some point quite a bit. So Dalton Kincaid is going to be a cautionary start. Dawson Knox, he's going to be a sit for me. Dawson Knox, he's going to be doing a lot of the blocking, a lot of that low stuff, so I think Knox is going to be down there. Next game is the Cardinals at the Eagles. Trey McBride, Dallas Goedert. Trey McBride is definitely going to be a start for me. I think he's going to be having a good game against the Eagles. Now, the Eagles have one of the best defenses in the league, but I think against McBride's a huge part of this offense. He's a great tight end. Kyler Murray's been finding him. He's going to be a start for me this week. Now, Dallas Goedert for the Eagles, he's going to be a start as well. Last week, he had 7 catches for 70 yards. He's coming off some injuries. I think against the Cardinals, it's a good matchup. The Cardinals have an iffy defense. They could be really good, could be really bad. So I do think the Eagles can capitalize on it. So I'm going to have to start Goddard this week. Now the next game I'm going to be going to is the Panthers at the Jags. Tommy Tremble, Evan Ingram. We know what to do with this one. Tommy Tremble, he's going to have to sit. It's not looking very good for Carolina's offense whatsoever. And against Jacksonville, I know Jacksonville's been struggling, but Tommy Tremble is not very scary. So he's going to have to sit his ass down. Evan Ingram, he's going to be a start for me. I think against the Panthers, it's a great matchup. Evan Ingram is clearly their number one option there in Jacksonville, so pretty simple there. The next game is the Raiders at the Colts. Michael Mayer, Kylan Granson, definitely sitting both these guys. Neither of them are heavily involved in their offenses, and they really just aren't involved in their offenses, and you can't rely on that, especially when it comes to the championship week in fantasy. Next game is the Rams at the Giants. Tyler Higbee, Darren Waller, 2 more guys. I gotta sit. I mean, Waller isn't going to have a great game against the Rams. We know that. Tyler Higbee, when does he have a good game? When was the last time he had a good game? Exactly. So you just cannot rely on him. Got to sit him. Next one we're looking at is the 49ers at Commanders. This is an easy one here. Obviously, George Kittle against a terrible Commanders defense. Got to start him. He's been playing amazing. He had the best week out of anybody last week. 7 catches, 126 yards. Got to start him. And Logan Thomas, he's going to be a sit. Against the 49ers, not a good matchup whatsoever. He hasn't been playing well. Have to sit him. Going to our first 4 o'clock game, we got the Steelers at the Seahawks. Pat Freiermuth, Noah Fant, easy sit for me. He hasn't been involved in this offense whatsoever. And Pat Freiermuth, he's an easy cautionary start. Now, this whole quarterback situation, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, we really don't know what's going on yet. So I think Freiermuth, he's going to be up in the air. But against the Seahawks, it's a great matchup. So definitely cautionary start him. The next game is the Bengals at the Chiefs. We're looking at Tanner Hudson, Travis Kelce. Kelce's an easy start against the Bengals. Great matchup. Look for Kelce definitely next week. I know this Chiefs offense is kind of struggling, but it's an easy game to pick it up back up against the Bengals for sure. And Tanner Hudson for the Bengals against the Chiefs defense, I don't like it. He's going to be a sit. The Bengals are using a lot of other weapons now, so I got to sit Hudson. The last 4 o'clock game is the Chargers at the Broncos. Gerald Everett, Adam Troutman. I'm going to keep that short and simple. Sit him. Broncos tight end. Sit him. Chargers, Gerald Everett. He will be a start. This is a struggling Broncos defense. The Chargers offense isn't doing amazing, but Gerald Everett's certainly been putting up what he needs to put up. Last week he had about 7 catches for 40-something yards. Not a whole lot, but that just goes to show you that's the worst he could do. So I think he's definitely going to be a start against the Broncos this week. Next up at 8:20, we have our late night game, Sunday night, last game of the week. Packers at the Vikings. Tucker Kraft, TJ Hawkinson. Now, we'll start with Tucker Kraft for the Packers. He's a cautionary start for me this week. Certainly can have a good game with Jordan Love. Vikings have a very good defense, though, so it might limit him a little bit. But you definitely might want to consider throwing him in there if you need to. Definitely would not be a bad option. And that does it for our Week 17 tight end start sits. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go comment. Let me know what you think. We want to hear from you. And have a great fantasy weekend and a great winter. Later.